Hey, all. So I wanted to talk about Turtles, the HyperStone Heist. I actually uploaded a video on Turtles in Time, and this is the next installment in the franchise back in the early 90s. So the SNES title came out in 1991. HyperStone Heist was released in Europe, 1993, Japan, pretty late, Japan, 22 December 1992, and then North America was 11 December 1992. So it actually came out 10 days earlier in North America, which is kind of surprising. But this game was very similar to Turtles in Time. It basically was a Sega port, and they updated the cover art, they changed up the level designs, and of course the cover art has the iconic Sega dark kind of gritty design. The turtles are more muscular than they are in the SNES title, but the sprites are pretty much exactly the same. They're based on the TMNT cartoon series, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon series from the 80s and early 90s. So what did I like about this game? It's really, really fun, just like the SNES title, but it isn't quite there. I'd say I had about 70% of the experience that I had for the SNES title. And part of the reason was the levels were overbearing, especially toward the end of the game. When you went into the gauntlet, you had to play Rocksteady twice. And so what was Slash in the SNES title, the Sega title was Rocksteady. And Rocksteady was an exact port of what he was in Turtles 2 on NES. He basically had the same movesets. He shot upwards, sideways with his rifle, and then he would ram you, and he was very difficult to beat. And so when he came back later in the game, I was just kind of like, oh no. He took out a ton of my life. He's very difficult to hit without getting hit back. One of the things I did like was some of the just totally different characters that they had in the Sega version as compared to SNES. So they actually had Shredder's sidekick from the 1990 movie that came out, which was really cool. And I liked how they went with a complete different direction in terms of some of the characters. It was just, it was kind of surprising and, in a good way. But it's a single player or multiplayer game. You can do one or two players. It's a beat 'em up. It's arcade style. I did one player like my usual norm, and I didn't make it. So I beat Turtles in Time, but on this game I got taken out, like I said earlier, in the gauntlet. I made it almost through the gauntlet and then I died. But the plot is April O'Neil is reporting from Liberty Island, just like in the SNES title, when, in a sudden flash of light, her audience and herself witness Manhattan Island suddenly start to shrink. In the Super Nintendo title, Shredder and Krang basically just took the Statue of Liberty. In this one, he actually shrinks the city, which is more dynamic of a story. And it kind of reminds me of Turtles 3, because that had a lot to do with Manhattan as well. Like Shredder had the floating Manhattan. So Shredder then hijacks the airwaves and announces to the world that this is the only demonstration of the power of the HyperStone, the treasure of Dimension X. When, with the HyperStone in his possession, he now has the power to take over the world. The Turtles have no choice but to go after Shredder and stop him. And the video game art of Shredder, he's just like massively muscular and just gritty looking, just like, typical Sega. So that's kind of cool. The gameplay of HyperStone Heist is heavily based on the second TMNT arcade game, Turtles in Time, which is what I mentioned before, which was ported to the Super NES during the same year. Yeah, I guess that's true. If they're talking about the game porting from the arcade, but these two titles came out at different times. Just wanted to make sure that was clear. The game shares nearly the same soundtrack and same effects as Turtles in Time, but the music plays faster in HyperStone Heist. Plus, you have that gritty Sega sound effect, which isn't as good as SNES. Arguably, Sega just didn't have as good music, and the capability of the console just wasn't there. So the music in this game wasn't as good as Turtles in Time, is kind of what I'm getting at, and that's my opinion. So feel free to let me know what you think about that. So there are a total of 5 stages: New York City, a mysterious ghost ship, Shredder's hideout, the gauntlet, and the final shell sock. A lot of these stages were borrowed from the SNES title, which saves time when you're redeveloping the game and porting it to another console, because the stuff's already made, so they don't have to redevelop everything. So these comprise a combination of new levels created specifically for this game, and one's based on levels from the first arcade game and Turtles in Time. So they basically borrowed from 2 games, the first arcade game and Turtles in Time. The bosses include Leatherhead, which was from SNES as well, Rocksteady, which I mentioned earlier, he's a pain. Tatsu is Shredder's sidekick from the movie. Baxter Stockman, Krang, and Super Shredder. So yeah, I almost got through the gauntlet. The only thing is I think Super Shredder would have gotten me. I mean, I need to replay this. The reception, wow. Screw Attack named it the 19th best Genesis game ever on the top 20 list. Now, I'm reading an article, and Screw Attack is kind of a NA at this point. You know, I think they've been gone for a long time. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there, but publication score was 3 out of 5. That's about right. It wasn't my favorite game. And, of course, Screw Attack said it's the best beat-em-up game ever, so that's Screw Attack. You know, I think they're deceased at this point. Megatech Magazine gave an overall score of 87 out of 100. That's about right. Praising the graphics and sound, although commenting that the gameplay isn't hard work and experienced players would be able to beat the game easily. That makes me feel kind of bad. I thought it was a lot harder than the SNES title. But Electronic Gaming Monthly's 4 reviewers gave the game positive ratings, praising the graphics and the animation, although there was criticism for the game being too easy and the game not having enough levels. Well, I died in the gauntlet, so I'm not perfect, as you all know. But anyway, feel free to try it if you haven't. It's definitely worth it. I actually beat Turtles in Time like a million times, and then I played this for the first time recently. So it's never too late, but it's kind of funny that I waited like 25, almost 30 years to play this after it came out. I didn't even know it existed for a good 20 years after it came out, which is funny. I actually had the SNES, and I did not have a Sega other than borrowing my friend's Sega out on the West Coast one time, so I was more familiar with the SNES library. But anyway, thanks for listening. Feel free to watch the rest of this video. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. And why don't you check out the store if you've got time? We've got a merch store up, or become a patron. But anyway, thanks for checking in. Take care, and have a good day.
Shell shock. No. No. Shell shock.
Fuck, man.